market this? Huh? Enter the 90s, the era of Tamagotchi and dial-up internet. So you can now email your friend about the brand new Sonic game. Sonic 3D Ball. I really hope my Tamagotchi is alive. Also, this blue bastard spawned a wave of Mario, Sonic, prepare for war. Blinks is here. Really? Just, hey, get a load of this guy, eh? The video game mascot. Sure, they still might exist, but they exist as these ultra slick, super marketable fellas? But I'm on about these guys. God, I love them.
Oh, and just a little disclaimer. Good lord, look at that timeline.
Whilst I am comparing these mascots to Sonic and the success of that brand, don't get it twisted, I do like a lot of these games personally, but there is a good reason why we don't see another Gex game, so that's what this video is about. This video is about why these mascots and their brands are flawed and how they can't replicate the success of Sonic the Hedgehog. I just wanted to put this out there because this is actually quite a negative video and I didn't realise it, so with that being said, carry on with the video.
Gex, Bubsy, Blinks, Earthworm Jim, damn it. These atrocities exist solely because Sega decided to put on their big boy pants and face off against Nintendo, thus summoning an autistic hyperfixation I can't get rid of. After the release of Sonic the Hedgehog, there was a clear shift in focus for companies. They started to quickly see the dollar signs associated by having just a quirky little guy as the face of their company, and now we have Rocky Rodent. 1993, I'm sure something of cultural significance happened this year, but I have no clue. But more so, Accolade brought us Bubsy, Claws Encounter of the Fur Kind, but that is a bitch of a title to remember. So Bubsy. Bubsy on the face of it looks like an innocent enough character, but add a t-shirt and man, I'm uncomfortable. Clearly influenced by the Blue Gumball himself, Bubsy is a linear 2D platformer that centers around his quest to stop the Woolies, an otherworldly race of aliens whose primary goal is to steal every ball of yarn they can find. Why? I don't know, I guess they just really like the stuff. Stop being so judgmental, you. And considering Bubsy is a bobcat, I guess he just feels inclined to stop this from happening. So, just under 2 hours later, what the hell did I play? The first entry is a difficult game to play, not because it's particularly tricky or visually boring, it's just painfully okay. This whole game just feels like, can we play Sonic? No, we have Sonic at home. And so overall, it functions, it's fine, but even for 1993 standards, it was already evident that Bubsy just wasn't able to capture the same winning essence that Sonic had. Where Sonic the Hedgehog possessed a clear character appeal, embodying a cool and edgy persona that clearly resonated with audiences of all ages, Bubsy really liked puns.
What could possibly go wrong? What could
Like
possibly
sharp. But man, something about this genre of mascot is just incredibly charming. It's like a glimpse of what could have been. Like, just imagine an alternative universe where Gex was the Mario killer. Now imagine a universe where I move out of this storage unit. Gex! Oh, Gex. Originally released in 1995 by Crystal Dynamics on the 3DO. Gex the Gecko absolutely reeks of charm and personality, but almost a little bit too much personality. This series is constantly cracking out jokes and references to pop culture for the time, which starts off funny and I guess charming, but it quickly died off for me. The media dimension is where you'll be spending the majority of your playtime as you attempt to escape it, only to then be dragged back into it in the sequel by the government. I always loved the idea of having each level be its own TV channel. It's super charming and pretty unique for the time. And I've realised I've said the word charming a lot. So, where did these companies go wrong, and why did we see the fall of this genre of mascot? Although characters like this are starting to see a rise again in the form of nostalgia-fueled remakes, there is one reason why these characters suffered a gruesome, horrible death. Sonic the f***ing Hedgehog! I mean, what were you expecting? I mean, just look at my channel!
Also, the title and thumbnail for this video probably gives it away.
Right out the gate, these characters simply don't have the capacity to live an almost too long of life that the Blue Gumball has. Firstly, with Sonic, he leaned really heavily into the idea of show, don't tell. Hey, look at that graphic, I made it. His character was always displayed in the way that he interacts with the player and the world around him, and his facial expressions and idle animations perfectly encapsulated this personality. Like, imagine instead of tapping his foot repeatedly, he just looked directly at the player and went, hurry the fuck up! Whereas with Gex and Bubsy, they just won't stop yapping our ears off! The creators of these characters clearly display a lack of trust and faith in the consumer, as if they have almost zero media literacy. And don't get me wrong, Sonic now talks, but that was a gradual increase. He didn't start yapping right out the gate, and I guess technically that could have been due to hardware limitations, but I guess it just ended up being a happy coincidence. Also, to put it simply, these characters were too slow. The gaming scene was evolving rapidly at just a stupid pace, and by the time these characters had come to market, there was just simply not enough public interest that Sonic couldn't already fulfill. Sonic was huge. Like, why would little Jim Bob over here care to invest in more of whatever the hell this is when he's already a Sonic fan and is consistently getting new titles? Because when you break it down, I really don't think there's an awful amount that sets these characters apart at their core structures. They're all arguably cute mascot platformers that have semi-unique character traits and personalities that set them apart in their world. But at a baseline, they try to be edgy personas for young, impressionable children to cling onto, and it just doesn't work for a lot of the time. It's merely a matter of situational context. I mean, in the 90s, Sonic was just way more appealing, and nowadays there's just no need for this type of character. And thank goodness we had Sonic and not pun-cracking, ball-slanging McGee over here. But not all hope is lost. The Gex trilogy is getting a remaster. Not a clue how that got greenlit, but what do I know? Maybe there's a huge Gex community out there just waiting to be found. So comment down below if you're a true Gexer. Speaking of comments, nice segue me. I know you're in the midst of commenting that this is only a small handful of characters. Yes, I'm fully aware. I know. There's also Blinks, there's Earthworm Jim, Jazz Jackrabbit, Rocky Oh, come on! They won't even try it!